Good morning, all. So, in the last lecture, we saw different crude operations using the SQLite for Android. And besides that, we have the external storage, that is the SD card that we use for our devices. So, today we are going to see how do we access the data that is stored in your SD card and to show that on your app. Like for example, I want to show the list of the songs that are stored on my memory card or SD card. So that is what we are going to see today. And if you remember, the first topic that we had in Android was what are the components of Android. So there are four components that we discussed about, and one of them was content provider. So up till now, what we have done is using the SQLite, we have created the table inside our data, and we have fetched the data using it. But now I told you that time that what is a content provider. A content provider is something that will help you get the data of the system's data. I mean, like the the data that is stored for the native libraries, that we, if we want to access them, we can use the content provider. So basically, starting from the very first thing, what do we do is we create an activity called media activity over here. It's just a name that I've given. You can use any kind of a name you want. Now inside this activities XML file, what do I put is I have a button, and along with that button I have a list view over here. So I've given the ID of this button, I've given the text for this button, and different designing parameters that I needed to give. So all of them have been provided. And besides that, I have a list view, and the list view is below the button. So what do I do is whenever I go and click on this button, I want to show the list of the songs that are stored in the SD card in this list view. That is what I want to do right now. So I have put a list view over here, and I've provided the ID for it. And because it is a relative layout, I have used the layout below for this list view. Now moving on to the Java file. Inside my Java file, what do I do is I initialize both the things, that is my list view and my button. Besides that, I would need context, that is the application context, at a lot of places. So I have just created the object of my context class. Context class is object context, and here I am initializing it using the get application context method. So I get the reference of my activity over here, of my whole application actually. Besides that, I've also created a string array called list items. This will include all the songs that I have created, that are stored in the SD card, and we are fetching them, and we'll be storing them inside this string array. But we will not be directly using this array. So we will be using this, we will be transforming this whole, the elements of this array into the array list. So I have created the object of list called list elements array list. So this is the array list in which I'll be storing the list of the songs. Here I am going to initialize this thing. So list elements array list is equal to new array list. And inside this, see, this is a method that we have for converting a list in sorry, an array into an array list. So this is the name of your class, that is the arrays dot as list, and inside this we pass the name of the array that we want to convert into array list. Again, this is the name of the array that I want to convert to array list, and this is the method for it, that is arrays dot as list, and I am passing the name of the object of my array over here. So what does this method do? It will convert my array into an array list. Why am I doing this? Because I want to pass my array inside the adapter. So I don't directly want to use the array, I want to use the array list. So what am I doing is I am converting my array into an array list, and then finally I am passing that array list inside the adapter. So again, I'm using an array adapter over here. This is the array adapter that we used inside the spinner and the autocomplete text view. So the similar way, I am initializing this array adapter over here. I've created the object of array adapter that has string elements. So I've passed the string inside my wrapper class's data type. So array adapter string adapter is equal to new array adapter, and inside that the first argument will be the context of my activity. So this is the media activity.java. So I'm using media activity.this. The second thing will be what kind of a layout I want. So I'm saying that I want such a layout, android.r.layout.simple list item 1. And the third parameter would be what data do I want to show. So I want to show the list of the songs, all those all those songs will be stored inside this array list, so I am passing that particular array list over here. Now now starting with this thing, like this is the method that you need to implement whenever you are using or you are coding for the versions that are greater than Marshmallow. See, before Marshmallow you just simply needed to put the permission uses permission inside your manifest file, but after the versions of Marshmallow and including Marshmallow, you need to provide a runtime permission. You must have seen that the previous apps that you used, you didn't get a dialog box for the permissions or anything. You just pass these permissions inside the manifest, and whenever you are downloading a particular app from App Store, at that time it will show you the list of the things that it will access from your phone. So at that time, if you accept all those things, then it will not further ask you for any kinds of permission. But after the Marshmallow version, it is important that you ask for all the permissions or all the things that you are going to access from your phone. So for that you need to take the Android runtime permission. So I am just calling this method over here. And what does this method do? This Android runtime permission is something that will be used to create the permissions dialog. See, before that, we need to put the permission inside your manifest file. Inside this manifest file, because I am reading the external storage device, so I am taking the permission called android.permission.read external storage. So this is how I am mentioning what kind of a permission I want. See, there are maybe possibilities that you want to use lots of permission, like you need to get lots of uh, permissions from the user, so you can list them out over here, and that list you will be getting inside this particular method. So what does this method do? If build version dot sdk integer, what does this mean here? If instead of using integer, you can also use the name, so you can here write the uh, Marshmallow. That way, I mean, you just need to see whether the build version is greater than Marshmallow. If yes, then you need to check the permission. So for that, what does this method do? Check self permission is a permission that will go and see if the manifest file has a particular permission recorded or not. Now here what does it do? If manifest.permission.read external storage is not equal to package manager.permission granted, means if the package manager hasn't granted this permission, which permission? Read the external storage permission. Then you need to show the dialog and you need to take the permission. So this is another method that shows that you need to take the permission. And what permission? Manifest.permission.read external storage. Inside this, I've created an alert dialog using a builder. So alert dialog dot builder, alert builder is equal to new alert dialog dot builder. And because of and the context that we will be passing is the name of the activity, that is media activity dot this. Then alert builder dot set message, do I want to show as a message in my app? So that is external storage permission is required. After that, alert builder dot set title, what kind of a title do I want to show for the permission dialog? Please grant permission. Along with that, I want to show two buttons. So what does this positive button do? This positive but For this positive button, I want to show the text as okay, and again its click listener is mentioned over here. New dialog interface dot on click listener. Inside this on click listener, I am taking this permission code activity compat dot request permission. That what does this mean? It is requesting for the permission from the user. Along with that, I am passing three arguments over here. The first is the reference of my activity. The next is what all permissions do I need. See, I already told you that if you want lots of permissions for this particular app, you need to mention all of them. You need to list them out over here in the manifest file. And after that, you need to create this such kind of an array of all the permission that you want to ask. So you just need to put a comma over here and add the permissions that you need. And the third parameter is a code. What does this code mean? I am passing this code. So using this code, if I get this particular code as a response, that so that I can compare both these things. Such kind of a thing was done in start activity for result. See, in a start activity, we didn't pass any kind of a code or anything because we were going from one activity to another activity. But I told you that when you want to go from one activity to another and you want to get some data from the second activity and again return to the first activity, you can use the method start activity for result. In that method also, we used to pass a particular request code, and using that request code we used to get that whether this activity, whether we are coming to this first activity after visiting the second activity or not. So that is a similar purpose over here. We are passing a runtime permission code. What is this runtime permission code? So that is something that I have mentioned over here. It is an integer kind of a data, and it is a public static final integer. This is not going to change, so it is my public static final integer, and I have given the value 7. Randomly you can give any kind of a value, you just need to check whether we are getting the same value or not. Now for the neutral button, I want to say cancel the text as a cancel, and what do I want to do is null. After that, alert dialog is equal to alert builder dot create, and finally I am using dialog dot show. Now if this is what, if you don't have a permission, if you have a permission, you just need to pass the values from you just get the a list of the permissions that you already have. And this is the overrided method. I mean, whenever you are using the on request permission method, you get on request permission result method, in which you can get the list of the permission. Now for example, if a particular permission is not granted, then you can get the list of that permissions from here. After that, what do I do is, moving on to this portion, from here this method was called. So after that, what do I do is, I have created the on click listener of this particular button. So button dot set on click listener. Now whenever this button is clicked, the button that I put, that I placed inside this XML file, this first one button, so when I go and click on that button, what will happen is, so this get all the media mp3 files will get me the list of all the files that are stored inside my SD card. So what does this do? It uses an object of a content resolver. What do you mean by a content resolver? See, content providers and the content resolvers are some of the common sources of confusion for the beginning coders. The content resolver is the single global instance in your application that will provide the access to your content providers. The content providers will behave exactly as the name suggests. That is, it accepts the requests from the clients and resolves those requests by directing them to the content provider with a distinct authority. And to do this, the content resolvers stores a mapping from the authorities to content providers. This design is important as it allows a simple and a secure means of accessing other applications' content providers. The content resolver includes the CRUD methods corresponding to the abstract methods in the content provider class. Whereas the content provider provides an abstraction from the application's content provider. Content providers provide an abstraction from the underlying data source. They provide mechanism for defining the data security and offer a standard interface that connects the data in one process with the code running in the another process. So what is a content resolver? It is a class that will help you get the values from the content provider. So how do you initialize a content resolver? Content resolver is equal to context dot get content resolver. Now here, you, as you already know that if you are going to use the object of a particular class, you need to initialize it, and there are different ways how you initialize a particular class. So here we are mentioning this way: the content resolver is equal to context dot get content resolver. Then I'm initializing the URI. What is a URI? URI is an object that we used inside an example wherein we were opening the camera for clicking. We saw the implicit intent and the explicit intent concept, and inside the implicit intent content, we saw the concept of URI. URI is something that mentions the location of a particular thing that you want to access. For example, if you want, here we want to access the media files, so URI will be mentioning the context of that particular files. That is, URI is equal to mediastore.audio.media.external content URI. This is how you will be using. See, there are lot for each and everything you have to mention the different URIs. Like for example, here I want to open the media files, so this is how I am mentioning my URI. After that, cursor. What is a cursor? We saw that inside the select method, wherein I was getting the data from the database. I got all those data in the form of a cursor, and then I was passing that cursor inside the loop and getting the data individually. So that is the similar thing. I'm getting the data, I'm getting the list of the songs, so I'm getting that from the in the form of cursor. So cursor is equal to content resolver dot query. See, we used SQLite databases object db dot execute SQL and dot raw query. There were those were the two methods that we used for creating a particular, for getting the value or for executing a particular query. Similarly, whenever you are using a content resolver, we use content resolver dot query, and inside that we pass the URI. That is, we are passing the value what we want from the content provider. So that is the URI. And all the other things, like if you want to put any kind of a projection, if you want to put any kind of a selection, these are the constraints that you want to put inside your query. I don't want any such constraints, so I'm putting just null over here. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 parameters inside the query method. Now, if the value is null, that is, if I don't get any kind of songs from the uh, SD card, then I'm showing a toast, something went wrong. Else, what I'm doing, else if cursor dot move to first, not. This is a negation condition. So if not cursor dot move to first, then again I'm showing no music found on the SDK, such kind of a toast. But if I get a list of these songs, then what do I do is I create an integer variable called title, and inside that I get column index. What index? Mediastore.audio.media.title. From here I am getting the title. Now I am iterating my cursor inside this particular do while loop, and I'm getting the list of the or the name of title of the songs from here. From here I am getting the index of that particular song inside this integer variable, and using that integer variable I am getting the name of the song inside this string variable called song title. And after that, what do I do is, as soon as I get the list of this song, I am adding all those strings inside my array list using the add method. And here is my closing condition, cursor dot move to next. So what does this do? It will get me the list of all the songs from my SD card. And finally, what do I do is list view dot set adapter, and inside the adapter I am passing this adapter, wherein I am passing the uh, array list of the songs that are put that are fetched from the SD card. Besides that, I have just written a click of the list view dot set on item click listener, and whenever I am going and clicking a particular value, so it is just showing a toast and the name of the song that I have clicked on. So this is how you implement, or you get how do you get the data that is stored inside your SD card. Now the output of this I cannot show run on my emulator, but I will be attaching a particular image from my phone that I've run. I mean the application that I've run on my phone, and I'll be showing the screenshots of that particular app. Okay. So this is all how you implement, I mean, how you get the values from the SD card. This is how you get the value songs from your SD card using the content providers. You can also get the list of the contacts in the similar way. Where is the You just need to change inside this URI. This URI will be different for that purpose. Okay, thank you.